This is an uncensored podcast about sex, sexuality, gender, and body stuff. Listener discretion is advised. The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are solely those of the person or persons sharing them. Some names have been changed to protect the anonymity of its participants. Hello, my friends. It's me, Drew Michael, and this is Make Sex With Me, a podcast where occasionally we start sneezing for no reason. And now we're sniffly. Literally, I don't know what happened. I've been sitting here trying to figure out some content to share with you all. Because I always have like a bunch of stuff that I want to share with you guys. And I just like save it in like different places on my phone, basically. Like I screenshot shit. I like have notes and notes and notes in my memos. So I'm sitting here on the couch and I like sit on this couch all the time. I lay on this couch. I'm here all the time. I don't really understand what's happened. But I'm just like sitting here and all of a sudden I start sneezing and I can't stop sneezing and I don't understand what's happening. Anyway, it's really wonderful. Ooh, a little bit of salts. Hold on. God damn it. I can't even imagine what people did before the invention of carbonation. Because carbonation is so wonderful. I don't even need soda. Like, I don't need, like, Sprite or Coke or anything like that. I will occasionally have one. Oh, shit. I'll occasionally have a soda because it comes, like, with a meal. Like, it's, like, you have to. Because, like, I didn't want to have soda, and I would, like, get fast food meals, and I would just ask for a bottle of water. And then I had like 20 bottles of water in my car because I was eating a lot of fast food. And then people were like, is this a fucking Uber? Like, do you have some gum? I was like every side door of my car had like a bottle of water in it. And like the little pockets behind my front seats had water bottles in them. It was like very weird. Anyway, either my life is just way too interesting or the opposite. Yeah. You guys, I actually had a really good day today. I like worked and then I like went to a gym and then I like sat in a sauna and then I got kicked out of the gym because it was closing. And then I went to the store and I was just like feeling myself. It was really good. I wore like little shorts. I forget how much I like to wear little shorts because I love my legs. I love my legs. My legs are so beautiful and they really are my moneymaker. They really are. The way I'm remembering what I need to talk to you guys about is there's a story about poop and another story about poop. And a story about pee, and then a story about semen. Poop, poop, pee, semen. That's how I'm remembering it. And then a story about Donald Trump, which is another story about poop, essentially. So should we alternate our poop stories and do like maybe like poop, pee, poop, semen, poop? Should we do it like that? So one of the poop stories needs to be the last poop story. So that's what we're going to do. No, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go poop, 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 poop. Pee? Wait, poop, poop. Poop, poop, semen, pee, poop. That's what we're going to do. Oh my God. Have I been alone too much? Like, should I, is this what people talk like when they've been in solitary confinement? All right. Poop, poop, pee, pee, semen, pee, pee, poop, poop. Am I manic? What the fuck is happening? So let's start out by talking about the biggest shit of all, Donald Trump. Now I have to read from this thing because I took a picture of the post here. I hope you don't hear my little fingers like smashing on the screen here. All right. So this was a post where was this posted? Well, it was online, and it's something called, is this on Instagram? Yeah, I think so. Something called Showcased. And it says, Trump's executive order has technically made everyone in the U.S. female. So this was weeks ago. I took a picture of this weeks ago. And so here's how this is what's happened. Trump's executive order declares that female means a person belonging at conception to the sex that produces the large reproductive cell. Male means a person belonging at conception to the sex that produces the small reproductive cell. Conception is the point, this is no longer in quotes, conception is the point when sperm and egg join. All human fetuses' sex organs are identical at conception in that they have none. Fetuses subsequently develop in the same manner as each other regardless of their chromosomes until 6 to 7 weeks after conception, where they start to grow either male or female genitalia. Basically, the default configuration of a human fetus is female. If we were to assign a sex at conception, as per Trump's executive order, all of them would be female. It's like, it's like so stupid. It's like, are we serious? Are you serious that like you are in charge of our government and you don't even understand basic biology? You don't even understand human conception, and yet you think you can like make laws about gender? I mean, what a fucking clown. And the fact of the matter is these people don't want to understand, and they don't want anyone else to understand. The less people understand, the better, as far as they're concerned. It's just like, this is bullsh. This is some serious bullsh. I'm just like not about it. So that was the first order of business. Before we move on, please, guys, will you rate, review, subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts, to our podcast, that is, and email us at makesexwithmepodcast@gmail.com. I really, really want you to do it. There's a huge cactus in my living room, and I love it. And I don't even know what kind of a cactus it is. I could stare at it forever. I have this like feeling of wanting to stare at nature. I feel like this is like the perfect segue into one of the stories, but I'm not going to tell you that story yet because that's the best story of all. So I'm going to wait till the end. But no, I came out of the grocery store tonight and it was like, there was this sliver of the moon visible, but it was so bright. The sliver was so bright you could like see like the dark side of the moon. And there was like a big fucking bright star in the same, like, I want to say the same frame, but it was just like the way I was looking at the sky. It was like my vision, right? It was a frame, I suppose. And it was so fucking pretty. And I was just like, God, I want this life where I can just like sit out and like watch the stars and like look at the moon and like watch the sunset and like the sunrise and like see natural things. Like I really, really want my life to be more in nature. And we'll talk more about that in a second. Okay. So let's talk about a pee. I've got a pee. I did a poop. Now there's a pee. So I'm looking at this thing that my friend sent me. It's a post. I think it is from a gym. It looks like it is, and it's funny because I work at a gym. So it says it's in yellow, and it says "Bust the pee guy." Win a free 1 year membership. How to win? Whenever you're in the restroom, just poke your head in the sauna and look for someone peeing in it. Tell front desk the time and day and description of the dirt bag and you win. Catch Bust the Pee guy. It's so interesting. I've heard stories of people peeing in saunas. I've seen a guy. Oh, this was actually super hot. I was like, I was cruising at this like gym in Manhattan, and there was like this one gym had a huge locker room. It was almost like two locker rooms that had been connected, and they were both men's, obviously. And so one locker room had like lockers and it had like communal showers, and then it had a dry sauna. And then the other locker room had lockers, and then it had a steam room and communal showers. So it was like the best of both worlds. It was like really wonderful. And like I had like fun things happen in the steam room. I had fun things happen in both communal showers, and I had fun. Whoa. I had a bun in the oven. I had fun things happen in the sauna also. I'm pretty sure I got fucked in that sauna. Did I get fucked in that sauna? I think I did. I also think I fucked a guy. Oh my God, I think I fucked a guy in one of the communal showers. Oh my God, this is so... I'm like remembering who I used to be. And it's like all coming back. It's all coming back. It's all coming all over my back. Whoa. And so anyway, I'll tell more stories of that. I remember I was in this shower and it was like me and this like really hot, kind of like Spanish looking guy who was uncut. And then like this other guy who was like really into watching, but like acted like he was like not a part of it, but like really wanted to watch. And so like at one point, like I was like super turned on, and like this hot Spanish daddy was like, he like, we were all on opposite sides of this communal shower room, and in the middle there was like a drain or something, and he just like turned his body towards the drain and like grabbed his dick and he started peeing, and he just like arced his pee up and out, and it like went near the drain, but it was like he was just like peeing across the whole shower room, and we were all just like it was so obscene, but it was also really hot. And I don't know if he wanted someone to like take a shower in it. I don't know if he wanted to to golden someone's shower. I don't know what I'm saying. It didn't occur to me then, but now it occurs to me that maybe he was being very like presentational with his pee because he wanted someone to like run over and just like do a super slide. Is that what that thing was called? Super slide? Remember that thing where you would like run and slide on it in your yard and it had to be wet? Oh, a slip and slide. Oh yeah, and I was always like, I'm gonna break my ribs, or like, what if someone put something like a rake? They forgot about a shovel or something. It's underneath. Ah, a gardening hole. Okay, so how do we even get here? Oh, I've heard of guys peeing in saunas. I've heard of guys. I mean, I've seen a ton of guys come in saunas. I've never seen anyone poop in a sauna. Um, I've come in a sauna, I think, probably. Um, but I'm thinking of like what I've seen guys do where they like left their bodily fluids on the ground and didn't do anything to clean up after themselves. I don't think I've done that because I think that's like kind of a dick move. It's a dick move to come on the ground and leave it. But oh, I also there was this steam room in a gym that I went to in South Carolina where like you would just be in there and then a guy would be like and he and then he would morph into a toad. No, he would just like hawk a loogie into the drain on the floor, but it was like a very small drain and it was basically just like he was spitting on the floor. And there was more than one guy that I saw trying to spit into the drain and I was like, "Excuse me, can you just like go into like spit that in the toilet or like the sink or something? Like can you not just spit all over the floor? Like we're all walking around on the floor." It was like so insane. I love how I get so upset about spit when I'm like totally all for a guy arcing his piss across a room. That's fine. That's totally fine. Okay, moving on. So I had to poop a pee. Let's talk semen. Okay, so this is actually not really a story, and I actually wonder if I have a picture. I know I screenshotted this. All right, I found it. So there is a guy who is, I think he's like an Olympic. Yeah, it looks like he's an Olympic wrestler. He's super, super hot. He's from Bulgaria. And it's so funny. I was talking to one of my coworkers about how like it's so hard like when people call up and they'll say like, "Hey, my name is like Bridget McClarney," and you're like, "Okay, can you spell McClarney for me?" And she's like, "Ah," and she acts like I should just know how to spell McClarney, and it's like, okay, your fucking name is Irish, so that means that when your people came over here from Ireland and they went through fucking Ellis Island or wherever the fuck, some person who probably hated Irish people, like, wrote their name down however he fucking felt like it. They were like, "My name's McClarney," and he was like, "Okay, I'm gonna write Smith." He's just like, no. And so that, but also, like, if your name comes from another language that has, like, symbols or different characters that aren't like the ones we use in English. There's also a lot of ways that like your name can be spelled weird. So I'm thinking Bulgaria. I think they use I don't know, they obviously speak Bulgarian, but I think it's like similar to like Russian And I feel like if I said that to someone from Bulgaria, they might kill me, because I feel like you don't want to say something's Russian if it's really not Russian. But so what would happen is like we'd be like, okay, well, we need to like spell, we need to like hear your name phonetically and then like try to figure out the best way to spell it with English characters, because we need to like present you to the world. And so this guy, his last name is Novikov, which is like, I feel like that's fine. He's a Greco-Roman wrestler, Olympic champion. And he was in Paris in 2024. His first name is Seaman. His name is Seaman Novikov. Semen. Seaman. Now, do they pronounce that Semen? Semen? I don't know. But we spell semen like that. So if his name is Semen, could we not have spelled it Sehman? Could we not have spelled it differently? Because his real name isn't written in those letters. It's written in completely different. And I'm looking at it here. It's like a C. Or maybe Bulgarian is more like Greek. It's like a C and an E and an M and an E and an H. So Seme. And then it's an H and an O and a B and a backwards N and a K and an O and a B. So Seme, Hobnob, that's what I would think. Or Hobbencob, Seme Hobbencob, that's what I would think. If it was, but that's not what that is. So I'm like, wait a second here. There's a lot of backwards letters happening. So anyway, I just feel like I feel like someone did him dirty. You know what I mean? It's like, we're going to send you off to the Olympics, the biggest fucking athletic thing in the entire world that happens every 4 years, right? Everyone from the entire world will be watching you. And we're gonna try to anglify your name. And we're going to spell it like white shit that comes out of your dick. So there's that. I feel like people did him dirty. I feel like he needs to fire his publicist, especially if his name is Seme. If it's Seme, it's not semen. So what's my other poop story? Oh, so here's the newest thing in poop news is that, so let me introduce this by saying that, like, a while back, this was like when Lady Gaga was huge. She was coming out with a fragrance, and she did come out with a fragrance, and I never smelled it. I never bought it because it was probably really expensive, and I mean, like, I've never been like fanatical about any famous person. I'm probably just like, oh, I love Lady Gaga, but I wouldn't like go buy her like I just recently saw her House Labs foundation and thought like maybe I should get that foundation, because I just recently realized I might need to start wearing a lot more makeup. So I did not buy her fragrance, but I remember hearing her like in an interview. At the time, like, she was like being very controversial and very like just like funny, and like, you know, like she wore a meat dress to like an awards ceremony, and then like handed her meat purse to someone when she like won an award or something, and she's like, here, can you hold my meat bag? And they were like, okay, and and then she was like bleeding on stage. She was like doing all these things, and it was like, it was like beautiful. I mean, some of the stuff was, I don't really love her meat dress, but, you know, I'm kind of like, oh, Lady Gaga. You know, and so she was just outrageous. Everything she was doing was like more and more outrageous, and that was just her style. So she famously was being interviewed, and they asked her like, what is the smell of your new fragrance like? And she said something like, it smells like blood and semen. They're like, okay, thanks. So that happened. So I'm just like, I'm not shocked if Lady Gaga does something like that. And to be honest, she's really kind of cleaned up her act. Like she went all jazzy, and she like performed with Tony Bennett a whole fucking bunch. I think she was doing like Vegas or something, and like doing like Broadway jazz shit. I don't know. I never saw it. It was not as, I'm glad she like wanted to do that, and then she fucking did it. And I'm glad she's at a place where she could do whatever the fuck she wants. But I wanted her to be like fame monster. I wanted her to just like be what she was initially. Like I just want her to dance and do crazy shit and do pop. I just want crazy dance pop from her all the time. Electronic, yes. So, and I mean, she's like still been true to that too, or whatever. I'm just like, I just want you to be Lady Gaga forever, please. And so there was this video, because her new album's coming out like this month. There is this video, and it was her sitting in a bedroom, and there's poop all over the floor, and she was playing with the poop. It was like going through her fingers, and it was just called like Poop. The song was going to be called Poop. And I was like, okay, this video is very obviously like AI. Like I've seen videos like this without Lady Gaga in them, and there's like meatballs everywhere, or like, you know, there's like pepperoni pizza slices, or like you can like just basically change the item into poop, you know, and it's just different items. Like the roof's made out of poop, the floor's made out of poop, you know, the bed's made out of poop. Just like it could be poop or pizza or meatballs. It could be any substance. It's just all over the place. It's like spilling, you know, out the vents, and it's like, you know, just all over the place. And so she's like basically just sitting on the floor in poop, playing with poop. And I was like, because I've already been looking at some of the songs on her new album, and like the music videos, everything is very much like, and honestly, I'm expecting Lady Gaga to be like political. I'm expecting her new album to be like, what the fuck is this fucking country that we're living in? And I expect it to be like a statement about like an anti-fascist statement. I fucking do. I don't know why. I can't imagine an artist like Gaga like not taking advantage of an opportunity like that when she has such a platform. And I already see in her she what was it, Abracadabra, that video to me is just very like very interesting. And apparently there's, in like the last 3 videos she's released, there's been this like kind of dark lady in red with like this big hat. Like it was in, apparently it was in, well, of course it was in Abracadabra, but it was also in that other one she did where she's being squished between the 2 beige houses. Disease something, blah, blah, blah. I can't remember. And then apparently there was that same character was like in the corner or in the background in that one she just did with Bruno Mars. And that's on the same album. So it's like, I can't help but think that that red lady is like something like evil or demonic, or it's like a fucking theme. It is. It has to be. So for her to release a song called Poop, I would not be surprised. I honestly think that like maybe someone generated it with AI, but I honestly think that I hope Lady Gaga sees it and says like, "Oh, we have to like release an extended version of my album with just one more track, Poop." I think it just needs to happen because we're really sitting in it. We're sitting in it. Okay, so now I come to the final we come to the final story of our book, our final chapter. I love looking up at the moon lately, the stars, blah blah blah. I I got so excited because I went and got my like license and my license plates for Michigan, and I like got this special. I paid extra so I could like have a pass on my sticker or whatever to go to like all the state parks in Michigan. Michigan's got so many gorgeous lakes and parks, and just like it's absolutely one of the most gorgeous fucking states in the entire country. Michigan is so beautiful and I love it. And it's, for the most part, about as much nature as I can handle. Because like I don't know that I could be like in the Yellowstone National Park, fucking going down like Whitewater Rapids in a fucking, I almost said in a hammock. I don't even know what the thing is called. Like a raft? Well, yeah, it's whitewater rafting. So a raft. I don't know that I could like climb up a mountain, or like, I don't know what I would do if I saw a bear. I would literally, I mean, I would just probably shoot myself in the head and just like, because I'd be like, this bear's going to maul the fuck out of me. I'm goodbye, Of course, if I had a gun, maybe I'd shoot the gun in the air or something to scare the bear. But no, I'd probably just be like, I'm gonna fucking die. Bye. I would probably just completely give up. I don't think I can handle that much nature. I like the idea. Like I like to watch like Bear Grylls shit, where he's like dropped in the middle of nowhere. And I really love the one where he's dropped in the middle of nowhere with like a celebrity. The episode with Bear Grylls and Simu Liu is so hot. They like get in their little undies together and then they like jump into some freezing water. I honestly like, what a fucking dream. Can I just be like sandwiched between Bear Grylls and Simu Liu and just for warmth, and they're in their little undies, and like I don't know how big Simu Liu's penis is. I don't even know if I'm saying his name right, but I kind of think it might be bigger than Bear Grylls, because I've seen leaked images of Bear Grylls' penis, and it's like pretty nice, but like, and I mean, he's always like getting out of a freezing cold river, or like he's, having to pee on his own shirt so he could wear it around his head so he doesn't like overheat in the desert. Like his penis is always being stressed out. It's not like a fair assessment of size. Like it's like his penis is like fucking in fight or flight mode. Like it's just not it's not in fight mode. It's in flight. Yeah, it's flighting. It's flighting up into his abdomen. It's just not fair to say this guy's got a tiny dick. I think probably he has a normal dick. And by the way, I would suck that fucking dick. I don't I don't care if it's 1 inch long. Bear Grylls, I will suck your fucking dick. You are hot as fuck. And you, if I had to be dropped in the middle of nowhere with Bear Grylls, I would be like, hold me, keep me from dying. Oh, there's a bear. Shoot me in the head. Like, I would just be like, ooh, bear. Oh, wait, his name is Bear. God, I'm so stupid. Okay, so keep all of this in mind when I tell you that I said this was Saturday morning. Okay, I woke up Saturday hungover and like just kept, this thing where you keep sleeping because you're like, ow, my head hurts. I just want to sleep. I don't want to be awake. This sucks. And I never, ever, ever take Advil or anything for a hangover. I'm so stupid. It's just like, I just don't believe in it or something. It's like almost like I think I deserve to be in pain is like a punishment for drinking. I don't know. But I basically like, I like wake up, I drink some water, I get back in bed. I'm like, ugh, I can't sleep. I like put on a podcast because like that's been one of my favorite things to do in the mornings when I don't have to be anywhere early is I'll just like put on a podcast and I'll like listen to them talk and I fall back asleep. Like I always have to have something to kind of soothe me into slumber. So I finally get out of bed and I drink some water. I don't have any coffee, so I'm like, fuck. I like sit in the shower for a spell. I'm feeling like a lot better. I'm like, good, let's start my fucking day. I'm like, it's too late to go to the gym because all of these gyms around here close so fucking early. I'm like, okay, well, let's like eat something and then let's go for a fucking hike because there's this beautiful state park nearby where I live and I've driven through it illegally without a park pass, but there's no one at the guard station, so I just was like, let me check it out. And then now I have the park pass, so I'm like, fuck, let's go. We'll like park and walk around and do our thing. And I was like, it is beautiful out, and it was fucking like 21 degrees outside, but I was like, let's do it. And so then I'm like, ooh, I've got this like I had dinner last night. I got drunk by myself at dinner and I had this beautiful Southwestern salad and they had put like, it was like lettuce and it was like a ton of black beans, like a ton of black beans and like a ton of corn and like a ton of diced tomatoes. And I was like, holy shit. Like I could barely see lettuce. I was like, what is this? So I ate all the lettuce and and there was a big chicken breast that was fried. It was actually really good. And there was like this like bacon bourbon ranch dressing or something, and I fucking gobbled it up. But when I was done, there was still a ton of black beans, diced tomatoes, and corn. So I was like, oh, give me a box. I'm going to save these beans, bitch. Like, yes. And so I like put them in the box. I was like, yes, I'm drunk. Give me those beans, bitch. And I got myself home safely. I think I was like tipsy. I wasn't drunk. I came home and had another gin and tonic, and I literally embarrassed myself to like 3 or 4 guys on Scruff. I don't think any of them will ever talk to me again. Fuck. Whatever. And so, story of my life. On Saturday, I was like, okay, I'm hungry, so let me eat the rest of these toppings. I'll just like put them on top of like some spring mix and have like the same salad like again because it was so good. And so I like did and it was delicious. I was like, yeah. And so then I got all bundled up and I drove myself over to the state park. It's called Island something State Park. I don't know if I want to tell you the name after you hear the story. I think you'll know. Why? And so I drive into the park. I like park my car. I like see there's like different options. There's like hiking trails and there's like bike hike, like some of the trails you can mountain bike, and you can also hike, and it says like this is a shared trail, so like bikers have to watch out for walkers, hikers. And so I'm like, oh, do I want to do that? I was like, I really would just like to walk along like a paved, like they have paved paths too. So they have like hiking and biking and like hiking trails. And then they have like paved trails for walking and biking also. So like you can decide how hardcore you are. And also like none of it is that hardcore. Like you're walking through like woods, and there's like some ravines, and there's like some small hills. It's just like it's not really like wilderness. Also, you're like 40 minutes from Detroit. So it's like not it's not really like you're out in the wilderness. Like there's deer and bunnies and squirrels. I also like I started to like freak out because I was like, oh my God, what if I come across like a big buck or something, and it like wants to like run at me and stab me with its antlers or something. I was like, what am I gonna do? So that was my biggest fear. And then I was thinking about like wildcats and like, which I don't know if we have those here. I know there's cougars in Michigan, but I think they're like up north. I don't know. And then like, coyotes, they're really, I think that's probably not a big thing to be worried about. So, and it was like daytime mostly. So anyway, I'm walking along and it's like really cold. I'm thinking like, oh my God, what if I get like frostbite? Like all of these things, that, you're hearing me say this and you're like, this person doesn't need to be outside. But I like want to be. I like want to not be afraid of nature. I want to be a part of nature. I want to like have fun and do like and feel alive and like experience, and I like want like to detach from like my cell phone and like fucking computers every once in a while and just like be one with nature. I just want these things. So I'm walking along and I'm like told myself, you're not going to get frostbite. You just walked by a middle-aged man in like a tiny shih tzu. Like this is a so I started out on the hiking trail, and then I actually got through that, and then I was like I got to a paved trail, and that's when I was like, I'm gonna get frostbite, and I was like, this is literally where people walk their dog. Like this is barely a park. Like you're at like Central Park right now. I was like, okay. So I'm walking along, doodly-doo-doo-doo, and then I'm like, ooh, I have to fart. And so I go to like let out a little fart because I'm all alone in the woods. And I go, oh, ooh, I'm not gonna let that out because I feel, oh, that's gonna be shit. It's gonna be a wet shit. I'm gonna shart. If I let that out, it's gonna be a shart. And I'm thinking like, that's okay. That's okay. I don't, now that I'm thinking about this, like, that's not okay. Like, I don't know why I thought that's fine. I just won't fart. Everything will be fine. When have you ever almost sharted yourself and then said, no, I just won't do that, and it'll stay inside of me and everything will be fine? That's not real. If you almost shart, you've got like the clock is ticking. Like your minutes are numbered. You need to find a bathroom. And I'm like on this path, and it actually went for a while. I mean, I must have walked for like a mile or two or something around the woods and on this path. And I was long past the guy and his dog, and I was just kind of like looking around, and I can't hear or see anyone for like anywhere. And I all of a sudden realized, like, there's a really good chance that I'm going to have to shit in the woods because my stomach's starting to feel weird. And I'm starting to feel like this might not be optional pretty soon. And I'm like, okay, keep walking. I was like, just keep walking. You know, you can get back to your car eventually. I was like, I'm pretty sure this path will circle around and I'll end up back at the parking lot that I parked my car in. And I was totally right. Like, it ended up doing that. And I was like, oh, that's fine, that's fine. I was like, and maybe I'll come across like a porta potty or something, because the park does have like some outdoor, little bathroom options. It's a really nice park. And it's very much not for super outdoorsy people. And I'm realizing that. I am like going back and forth between denial of like I'm not gonna shit right now, and like I'm definitely gonna shit. Like I'm like boop boop beep boop beep boop beep. I'm like back and forth so quickly that I don't even understand what's happening, and then all of a sudden I'm like, well, let's just walk off the path into the woods, like into, let's just decide like what would be a good tree to go behind. Let's just pick out a tree. And so I step off the path, and as I'm stepping off the path, I let out a little bit of shit. And I'm go like, oh my God, no, 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 it's happening. And I take like 3 or 4 more steps. I turn my ass towards the woods. I pull my pants down, and I'm like looking, I'm already kind of like looking in the pants to see like, did I shit in my pants? And there's this cute little pink sweats that I have on. And I'm like, nope, I didn't get any in the pants. And then I'm squatting down and I'm trying to pull my pants, forward between my ankles so my ass isn't over my pants. And I just kind of give a little push. And it was like, I'm trying to think of like how I can describe the sound. So I'm standing in a bunch of like cold, dead leaves, essentially, like on the forest floor. Imagine like you take not like an entire pot of chili, but like a nice sized bowl of chili, and just fling it into dead leaves. Like but it's not like a flinging, it's like a shooting. It's got a force when it hits the leaves. It's not like a just beans and chili and beef flying through the air and landing calmly on dead leaves. It's like if you took paint and shot it out of like not a water gun, because it would have to be, it's kind of like when there's the water inside the mustard and you go to squeeze it, but it's like the water and the mustard too. It's like, I don't know, but there was so much diarrhea that shot out of my ass. And it happened so quickly, and I was like, oh my God. And the whole time I had already considered that I had nothing to wipe myself with. So I'd already considered, okay, so I'm going to shit, and then it's going to be a mess, and I will be getting some of this shit in my pants. And then I will be walking, because I'll be walking to my car. So there will be shit in my pants. There will be maybe shit down my legs. And it's diarrhea. So it's not like chunks or lumps or logs. No, nothing solid. And I'm like, this is going to happen. I'm going to have to do this. And I'm going to get to my car and I'm going to, find another shirt or a jacket or a towel. I'm going to put it down on the seat so I can sit down and get in my car and I won't shit on my seat. And then I'll drive home and I'll shit some more if I need to. And then I'll take a shower. I'll take another shower, because I've already showered, but now I'm going to take another shower and I'll just wash my bottom half. I won't have to get my hair wet. Like, I'm going through all of this as I'm still squatting there. And I'm like, I think I'm done. And I stand up and I just am like, okay, well, I don't want someone to come across me having just like shellacked the forest. And I'm just like, I stand up and I pull my pants up and there's still nobody around. And I turn around and I look and it's just like this like line with like rays radiating out in a couple different directions, but mostly just like a long line of just like, it's like neon green shit paint. It was like, I probably didn't fire more than a foot and a half or 2 feet from my sphincter, but I was like, this is something. And I was like, well, let's get going. And so I pull my pants up and I walk out of the woods. I get back on the path and I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck? And I'm like thinking back to like this time I went canoeing with a friend and my canoe flipped over and it was like sinking and I was like, oh my God, I'm going down and I'm like going to get sucked under like a dead tree. And I like flipped out and I got myself out of the river and I got my canoe out of the river, and it was a kayak, by the way. And it was a kayak. And I like started having a panic attack and I was having fight or flight, and my friend Zara was like on the opposite side of that river where like she could literally like just put her foot out of the kayak and it was like on the ground. It was like pebbles and stuff, but I was like in the bend, which was like deeper and dark and scary. And so I was like flipping out and she's like, I think you're fine. Come over here. And I was just like, no. And I climbed up onto the riverbank and I was like, I think I have to pee. She's like, okay. And I peed. And then I was like, I think I'm going to shit. And she's like, oh, okay. And I took a crazy, massive anxiety shit right there in the woods that day. So I'm thinking to myself, like, I wasn't anxious. I wasn't that anxious about like taking this walk. I was a little bit nervous about it because I just am so out of touch with nature and I don't really know my surroundings and stuff, but I wasn't like that scared. And then I was thinking like, well, you were hungover this morning and you usually would have like one solid shit and like one liquid shit if you're too hungover. That happens a lot. And then you did eat that crazy salad twice. So that might have had something to do with it. Yeah. So I walked back to my car and it took me another 10 minutes to get there. And I'm feeling like the wetness between my cheeks. And in my head, I'm like, oh my God, there must be shit like dripping down my legs. And there wasn't. But I think it definitely got up behind my balls. I mean, there was a lot of diarrhea. And that little fart that happened before I let it all go, that definitely didn't help. And as I'm walking back to my car, I'm starting to think, the thought comes to me, if a gay shits in the woods and there's no one around to smell it? Did it ever really happen at all? Like, did it happen? How do we determine what's real? Did I shit in the woods? Twice? I did. I shit in the woods. I don't think it'll rain for a while, so it's gonna be there. I also, like, when I got back to the parking lot that my car was in, there was like a little, like a little hut toilet area, like two little bathroom huts. And I went in and I looked down and the hole was, it was like a sinkhole inside that toilet. It was terrifying. And I let out a lot more diarrhea and farted a whole bunch, like gurgly, bubbly farts. And then that's when I realized that I had diarrhea all over my taint and behind my balls because I went to wipe and I was like, oh my God, it's fucking everywhere. And then, of course, I was like using toilet paper and hand sanitizer to try to clean my hands. I was like, oh my God. And I drove home and I took a bottom half shower. And then I got redressed and I went out grocery shopping. It was fucking great. So anyway, what did you guys do this weekend? I think that I am great with nature. I think that I need to meditate on this. I once told someone I don't understand water and like it just like it either is like taking me down or it's like pushing me over or it's like getting in my mouth or in my ears or my nose or my eyes. You know, like I've almost said like I don't want to go in the ocean anymore because it's just too unpredictable. I guess I don't want to go kayaking anymore because it's just too unpredictable. Or maybe that's like the thing. Like you have to just go with the flow. But I don't know. I went home and I Googled like, what are the symptoms of colitis? Do I have ulcerative colitis? Or do I have irritable bowel syndrome? Like I was just like, what? Who just diarrheas? Just for no reason randomly. So yeah. So that's that. Thank you guys for listening. I really hope you liked this absolutely putrid, disgusting episode. Please rate, review, and subscribe this shit episode wherever you listen to podcasts. And I hope you will write us. Please write me about times that you shit when you shouldn't have shat. And I hope you guys are filling your buttholes with corks. I hope you're filling your holes with things that prevent you from shitting. And I hope you're filling your holes with whatever makes you happy. Goodbye.